guess it was when I was a teenager. That's when I first started to figure out who I was as a person. When you're a teenager, you start to be really sure of like what your interests are. And even though sometimes when you're a teenager, things can seem like they're a phase, I feel like it's when you really start to path like the way into like being your own individual person.
You know what, when I first moved to the country for the first time is when I feel like I was really able to sort of pinpoint my style. I love reading old Western novels. I love reading books about the Old West. And I feel like over time maybe my style has sort of taken shape around like the Old West. I love, you know, cowboy hats. I love prairie skirts, duck canvas, overalls. I love country and folk music, and so of course it's gonna embody that sort of thing as well.
I tend to go for a lot of prints. I love clashing animal prints as well, and then teaming them with like bold colours. Got a little bit of pink on today with my leopard print.
Take inspiration from a lot of rock and roll, like 80s glam rock. I always wanted to look like I was either in Motley Crue or I was a groupie. I was just super inspired by the music and the eras in which the music came from that I listened to.
I think I struggle when it comes to defining my style because it changes so much. One week I could be into that, and then I could hate it the next week, and then pick it up a year later, and then I fall back in love with it.
I'm inspired by so many different things, and I can't define my style. I can't pigeonhole it. Whether it's the colour combination of the sandwich I'm eating, the music I'm listening to, the weather, my bad 1960s or 70s, rock and roll music, a little bit of a masculine, boyish vibe thrown in. And then of course lots of colours and print. Of course, I think like anybody now, I get my style inspiration from so many different areas of life. For me, I get a lot of inspiration from just the streets of London, in East London in particular. People are so like free with their style. They wear exactly what they want. They have their hair how they want. For me, I've always looked to actual people that I meet.
I guess I would describe my style as eclectic. I wear a lot of colour, I wear a lot of print, I wear a lot of colour and print together. I tend to just wear what makes me feel comfortable, what makes me feel happy. I definitely use clothes as a form of expression. I find that if I'm in a bit of a bad mood, I can lift myself out of it.
Over the years, I suppose, I've dabbled with different colours and styles and kind of sub-genres of, I guess, alternative style. I went through like a pastel purple phase, which I guess was the beginning of my YouTube. And kind of more recently, I've dabbled a lot with colours as well, but I'm very much also still really into monochrome, lots of black, lots of leather. Animal print is my thing.
I also love the 60s and I love the 70s, everything from those eras. I love colors that remind me of the earth, so browns and neutrals and, you know, burnt oranges. I try my best to sort of bring that all together. Hopefully like that sort of makes my style a little bit unique to me.
I think a lot of my personal style as well depends on my accessories and my jewellery and stuff like that. So a lot of gold, a lot of like random earrings that I can mix and match on different ears and wear one of and not the other. I think that's the most important thing about style, is experimenting and having fun with it.
You get a lot of inspiration from the people that you're around. I also obviously look to Instagram. I follow a lot of girls from New York. I follow guys from Canada. I follow people in California and France and Spain. While some might argue that Instagram culture sort of amalgamates and makes its own culture in one, I think it's really cool to look at people in New York, let's say, and see what they're wearing for like business smarts, or what they're wearing to a gig or whatever, and I love that sort of almost geotagged kind of style inspo.
I feel in terms of defining your own personal style, there'll always be things that you've always really loved and you can implement those throughout time. For me, I guess it'll always be this kind of rock and roll inspired look. I'll always love animal print, I'll always love leather. Personal style is about wearing things that make you feel good. It's about finding items of clothing that you're wowed at, that really make you feel something.
I love the way I dress. It makes me feel confident, and there is nothing I love more than seeing a confident person just completely embodying everything that they love. And I've been told before that just by being myself, it has made other people feel more confident to be themselves as well. So all in all, I think my style has done a little bit good for everybody.
Don't believe that you need to define your style. You just gotta wear what you love and what makes you feel fabulous.
I, for one, don't particularly like to follow trends because I don't like someone else dictating what I should wear. If I go shopping and I see things that I guess are trendy and it speaks to me and I like it, I will buy it because I like it, not because it's what's in at the moment.
I just go on my favourite websites and browse and see what they've got and get a lot of inspiration from there. I mean, I guess also musicians, artists, people like that. I think there's a lot of inspiration to be found out there, and I think that people shouldn't feel worried about trying to put themselves into a hole, like a neat little hole, you know? Like
finding staple items or key pieces that will speak volumes for you is really important. I like to be creative with like sunglasses or a really crazy pair of shoes or like a wacky handbag. As much as I like to be out there with my style and create these kind of exciting and eye-catching looks, I also really appreciate the kind of minimal side of things. Sometimes we put too much emphasis on worrying about what our personal style is and having a style. I, for one, have worried so many times about not looking unique enough or looking definitive enough. I actually see no problem with taking inspiration from others, making it your own.
of course you can take like goth inspiration or you can take punk inspiration and you can mix that with like a Kardashian look. Of course you can. If that's your style, that's your style. And there's no pressure, I think, to conform like that anymore, and I think that we live in a really exciting time for fashion. I do change up my style a lot. I take a lot of inspiration from a lot of different areas.
My 3 rules for defining your style is break the rules. Like double denim that shit. Clash your colours, clash your print.
I did used to have loads of style rules, including the fact that I hated pink and red together, but now I love them together. Style rules are meant to be broken, even if it's just by yourself.
Find staples that you love. Mine has got to be my leather jacket. Don't follow fashion, follow people. Get inspired by the people around you, the music you listen to, the movies you watch. That is what I've got to say about defining and finding your style.